morning, lovely people. It is Thursday, the 3rd of November. Welcome to TDA, the day after, your favourite news platform and the home of popular culture as defined by the culture. We are, of course, well, there's two in the room.
We're here though.
We're here and we're starting at 8, okay? And I know the people they've definitely noticed this. I see the shady comments every morning when we start. I bet there's one there now.
Not yet.
Not yet?
Not yet.
Okay, well, you think you know
Why are
people.
they throwing shade for us?
No, it's like good shade. It's like, oh, wow, you guys are really serious about this 8. Like, people are like, oh, I didn't know you guys had started. Crap, let me get my tea quickly kind of situations, yeah. But let's introduce ourselves anyway.
That's Brent's fault.
Why's it Brent's fault?
Not going to get into it.
Okay.
But please, let's get into it.
Huh?
They'll read into what you've said, and they're obviously going to read it wrong. But what
You're going to think
what
Brent
mean?
threatened us.
No, like, you should have, been pressing the button originally from when you said you was a bit too lax. Like, now, you're 8 o'clock starts. I think
Okay. So I should have gotten used to the 8 hard start,
Yeah,
and I wasn't disciplined enough.
yeah.
All right. Okay. Thank you. I'm going to be less democratic in the future.
Come on, man, this dictatorships we're dealing with.
All right. Cool.
Yeah, I think we need to vote on that.
Anyway, it's your boy, Big Mars from the east side of the bridge, 6 foot plus of pure temptation and all that goodness. I'm here. That's most importantly.
Definitely. And it is your favourite shade queen and my own royalty as well. I'm here. How are we doing this morning?
We're good, man.
Yeah?
I feel fresh,
Yeah,
ready for the world.
love it.
Definitely. It's a good day. It's raining, isn't it? Weather's horrible.
It makes a flood. It's proper serious. Because you know what? I don't like driving in the rain. It stresses me out because my eyesight is kind of capped anyway because I wear glasses. So when actually, I probably should wear my glasses when I'm driving in the rain. Forget that. But yeah, so it stresses me out. And then, you know, like when it's like, there's like gathered waters on the roads. Because my car is very little. And my worst fear is my car breaking down in the rain. I would just stay there and cry.
That's a problem, man. That's a problem. I think the M3, is it? And I can't remember. But there's a couple of them that's closed. A couple exits are closed because of flooding and that.
It's very, very serious.
Delays. It's going to go down.
Definitely a delay.
Well, you've got to leave earlier than you should have. I was nearly late today.
You were nearly late. But you were like early though. Like before 8.
Yeah, but I wanted to be earlier than I was.
I was there, okay. To be fair, though, I do think the rain does slow people down because I thought I was going to get here like my usual 7:15. I get 7:30.
Yeah, it's the game, man.
It's crazy. Love to see it. But yeah, guys, as we go on, before we go on the show, like the video, subscribe to the channel, join the community.thenewblack.com. Our lovely producer isn't here, so send some love and good energy and vibrations if you believe in stuff like that.
Is he not coming or is he just late?
No, he's not coming.
Oh, okay. Is he all right? Yeah?
Yeah. I'll let you know.
His car had. He told me not to tell everybody, but you know what happens when somebody tells me that. You know the not Extinction Rebellion people, the Save Oil people. I don't know what their name is.
Yeah, that I just
The stupid orange paint.
Yeah.
They got his car.
No way.
They got his car. He parked his car in a particular place. They got his car.
They
I can't tell you where he parked his car, but they got his car.
Swear to God.
Yeah, man.
They heard him talking.
Listen,
I don't know.
he's come for them. He's come for the vegans. He's come for all of them. And he should be one of them because he's a
Streets
vegan.
ain't safe.
It's not safe for
I gotta
anybody.
watch what I put in my car, I guess.
Listen, it's mad.
In these TDA streets. Boy, we've got enemies out here, folks.
We really do. Not folks.
He's gotta protect us, man. Pray for us. God damn.
It's ridiculous. Someone's cussing me for saying gathered waters. Yes, gathered waters. The water's gathered, isn't it? That's
Is
make
that
a
what you
puddle.
said?
Yeah. if the water's gathered, wherever water's gathered makes a beach, makes a river, makes a sea, makes a lake, makes a puddle,
It's so Nigerian.
Facts.
makes a... First of all, you don't know what... You didn't know anything a lot about Nigerians until I got this. Don't you dare.
Gathered waters.
Anyways, let's get into our show. It's time for the first headlines. Albanian Prime Minister has hit back at the UK. So Albania's Prime Minister has accused the UK of scapegoating his citizens to excuse its failed policies on borders and migration. Eddie Rama told the BBC that Home Secretary Suella Braverman's remarks this week about the UK being invaded will fuel xenophobia. Albanians are now the biggest group of those crossing the English Channel in small boats. Ms. Braverman, who said on Monday southern England was facing an invasion of migrants, has also accused many Albanians of abusing our modern slavery laws. Yikes. Last week, the MPs were told 12,000 Albanians had arrived in the UK after crossing the Channel so far this year, compared to 50 in 2020. 10,000 of them were men, representing 1% of Albania's adult male population. In the interview with BBC Newsnight, Mr. Rama said Ms. Braverman's invasion comment was crazy and he had found it impossible to not react. He said, it's not about one person, it's about the climate that has been created. It's about finding scapegoats and blaming others. It's not about Albanians or aliens or gangsters, but it's about failed policies on borders and on crime. This kind of language is not a policy, is not a program, is not a vision. It is nothing but fueling xenophobia and targeting, singling out a community. I admire everything that Britain represents, but I really am disgusted about this kind of politics that in the end is doomed to fail. So social conditioning has definitely got us, because when I hear gangsters now, I think black.
No way.
Yeah, that's the problem. So when he said that, I think, why are we in it?
The Albanian community.
Yeah.
Not just Albanian community, but there's a
There's a lot of communities.
No, but there's a what's the word I'm looking for? How can I put this?
Should we just move on? All right, second headline.
But I don't understand why they all come in here, because Albania's not like war torn or anything. It's all right at the moment, isn't it? So how come so many people want to leave?
Right? I don't know.
Yeah. I do hear somebody say that. I think it was somebody who is in the Conservative government. I think they were on, I don't think it was Sophie Ridge, some other one. They were like, yeah, Albanians completely fine. So why are they leaving? I haven't checked that. Okay. I don't know if that's true.
Okay.
I'm guessing that's the message that's been pushed, but I haven't got a clue. I guess I'll do a little Google whilst you guys are talking.
But to be fair, with every community, though, as great as the country might be, the people who still want to leave. Do you get what I mean? I mean, 15,000 or 12,000 is a bit mild, but... No,
but that's what the people... I think this is what the problems are coming from. People seeking asylum. Like, if you're seeking asylum and there's stuff going on, then all right, fair play. But if they're saying, if your country's all right, do you just want to come here just because it's better?
Oh, yeah.
And then how many... You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think that's where the issues come into it.
Gotta level up,
again, I don't really know, so...
I feel you. All right, so the next one is the US says Russians were considered using... Okay, so Russians basically were considering using nuclear weapons. So 2 US officials told CBS News that senior Russian military leaders discussed last month how and when they might use nuclear weapons on the battlefield in Ukraine. They made a note to say that Vladimir Putin was not involved in the talks. The White House said it had grown increasingly concerned about the potential use of nuclear weapons over the last few months, but it stressed the US saw no sign of Russia preparing for such use. Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov accused the West of deliberately pumping up the topic, although the timing of the high-level Russian military discussions in mid-October is significant. So as we reported on TDA, by late September, President Putin had escalated his nuclear and anti-Western rhetoric, talking about using all means at his disposal to protect Russia and the occupied Ukrainian lands he had annexed. Yeah. He said outrightly, this is not a bluff, and accused the West of unleashing nuclear blackmail whilst boasting of Russian weapons that were more modern than any in NATO's armory. Responding to US media reports that Russia had discussed using nuclear weapons, White House National Security spokesman John Kirby said, "We have grown increasingly concerned about the potential as these months have gone on." I guess the Russians ain't playing, are they?
You ain't gonna do nothing, man.
Yeah, I feel like if they wanted to, they would have.
I feel like even if it is that, I don't think Biden's ready for the streets.
I don't think that uncle can handle it. He's a granddad. He's a proper frail man.
Yeah, I don't think that's his story. He's gonna have to try and.
That's his story.
No, I don't think that's his story. He's gonna have to try and
appease them quickly.
Yeah, just have a conversation, squash it, and sort it out. I don't think he's gonna do the warmonger thing.
Yeah. Boy. Well, alrighty, let's get into our What You Saying topic of the day.
Well, it's gonna be hard.
The host today. So the question for today, and guys, feel free to call in as well. Put stuff in the chat. We'll read all that stuff. But yeah, so the question for today is suffering an important part of being a human being?
Oh, wow.
I know, right? And nice and heavy, isn't it? This week has been something. We should talk about, I don't know, candy floss tomorrow or something. We need to lighten up.
Something lighter, don't it?
But yeah, so is suffering an important part of being a human being? We'll just talk about that or answer that, and then we'll get into the deeper questions.
Is suffering an important part of being a human being?
I think it is, you know.
I mean,
It builds character. It builds character. It builds resilience.
so when you're saying it's important, you mean black people need it? People need suffering?
I just think it just...
Some people don't need that, man.
I mean, we all would... we'd all prefer not to. But I do... Actually, what is suffering? Because we talk like low and destitute and butter down the line.
This is what I'm saying.
Because anything could be suffering, though.
It can build character. Don't get me wrong. It can build character.
Yeah.
Build up a little perseverance and that. But is it important? Like, do we need it? Like, ideally, wouldn't we want to live in a world with no suffering?
It would be great.
That's what we want.
Oh, do you know what it is?
Go on.
I wasn't thinking about suffering like poverty and stuff.
It's pure suffering.
I was thinking suffering like when I have to make a meal for myself and I'd rather not.
That's not suffering.
Ask me how I feel. Ask me how I feel.
That's not
Oh
suffering.
yeah, that's the inconvenience. Actually, yeah. So okay,
There's
yeah,
pure
yeah.
suffering out there in this world.
So like poverty, wars. Okay, yeah, yeah. Okay, let me get my mind in the right
people
place.
being oppressed,
it's
discriminated
not needed, man.
against, all of these things. Like, it could fall under a load of different things. And again, like I said, you need like all them trials and tribulations and things. You kind of need them to build a character, to be a well-rounded character, to go through stuff. You get what I'm saying? But the way, is it important though?
Not Yusuf looking at props that's in the studio. You're ridiculous. He's out here reading notes.
I see whiskey, I see Sony music. What's this? Anyway.
You're definitely that student that was just dropped in the class when you're late. Okay. If I think of something like that, I don't think it's important then, because it's not nice, and it doesn't build character in that sense, because sometimes people don't get out of that suffering. So what's the building other than just a difficult life?
Strength.
Nah, but sometimes like
Because they might not get out of the suffering, but they still have to have the strength that they keep going, innit?
nah, let me be weak, man.
No, some people
Let me
need to
be
be
weak
strong. They could be like the head of the household, raising the family, raising the kids, and suffering the whole time. But they got to be strong, keeping everybody together, keeping everything going, being the breadwinner.
Yeah.
I mean, again, it's not ideal. It's not what you want.
Yeah,
But
it'd be like that.
it gets like that sometimes.
Yeah. Okay. I think what Iman was with this doc is, I think the conversation is bigger than just poverty and wars and all that kind of stuff.
All right, let's open it up. Let's unpack it.
Let's get into it. So, most of us, if not all, don't like the idea of suffering. So we don't like the process. But after passing through it, are you happy it ended? Sorry, it happened. Sorry. So this is why I say like suffering can be. I kind of am sometimes.
No, man, fuck that. Even if you learn something, like, what do you mean? Like, it's like not like happy you made it through the other side alive. All right, cool, but like.
But you know what is? Certain things help you realize so much more about life. So, okay, for example, let me use myself as an example. So last year I suffered a house fire. Of course, I would have rather I didn't suffer that. I would have rather not been through that. But going through that, and still going through that, I've learned a lot about myself, the things I hold valuable in life from that I don't think I would have if I hadn't gone through something like that. So I think in that sense, it's like there's certain characters, there's certain things that is now a part of you, part of your story, that wouldn't have been revealed to you.
It got forced on you. I feel like if you've done some soul searching, you could have found that out without fire.
Some things you can't. Because you know, sometimes, because you know what it is? It's like wishful thinking when you say, you say something, but when you're really faced with that thing, it's a whole different ballgame.
No, because all we're doing is that clouds having silver lining stuff, or when life gives you lemons, you make lemonade
and stuff.
You know what I'm trying to say? So you go through that shit that you had no choice to go through. Yeah, you did learn something about yourself.
Yeah,
you get me. Probably did develop some kind of different skills or whatever.
Yeah.
So then you start to reframe it and you look at it for what it was. It's something that you went through that you can't change it.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Now let's look at the benefits, if any.
Do you know?
I glass half full kind of thing. But it's not what you need or want, though, is it?
Do you know what? Actually, I agree with that, because I think you're right. It's us trying to, because I'm someone who I like to rationalize things, but I think it's us trying to make the best out of our trauma.
Yeah.
So we're trying to see the glass as half full.
Yeah, and obviously it's a good trait to have if you can do that and if you can move on, if you can learn something from the bad side. So there is, you can take a positive from a bad situation. Yeah. But I usually find you usually ain't got no choice though, if that makes sense.
Because you didn't.
All right, cool. So given the choice, would you want to go through all that crap to learn something about yourself?
No. Certain things, no. Something life-changing like that, no. But there's other things that, okay, let me use relationships as an example, right? Sometimes when you're in something, you can't see it in its entirety. Then when you go through what you go through, as hurtful as it might be, reflecting on it, like, it's like, okay. You see a lot more. I always say that I like the woman I evolved into after a heartbreak. Like, I love that girl. And when I look at it, I always like the fact that I'd been through that because it's unlocked a new level of me that I didn't know existed. And I feel like being in comfort, I don't think that level would have been unlocked.
But you think you could have learned that without the suffering? You think you could have learned those lessons and, I mean...
Thinking back, I don't think so. Because I think it challenges you to see a different side of yourself. And I think with that challenge, well, the way I embrace challenge anyway, being in a comfortable situation, I don't think I would have unlocked certain things if I hadn't been through the challenges I've been through.
Yeah, I agree. I think, just to catch up with the conversation, I think suffering, unfortunately, is part and parcel of life, isn't it? Like, you learn from it, you gain experience, you learn from experience, you gain wisdom from it, and you do, for the most part, come out a stronger person. Because obviously, if you take the lessons from the situation and you act properly moving on, you know what I mean? It helps, but it's something that we wouldn't choose to go through. We wouldn't choose suffering over happiness. But it's good to take the good from suffering. Yeah. You know what I mean? But it's one of them weird ones. Like, you wouldn't choose it, but you always learn from it.
Yeah. Do you think it's important? Do you think it's necessary?
It depends on the degrees of suffering. I think life isn't meant to be completely easy. I think we're all meant to go through our ups and downs, and the downs are necessary to teach us, to help us, to make us grow as people. Yeah. You know what I mean? I think you know what? I think it's necessary. You know.
Because you know what? That's actually the next question. Because it says, "Is suffering essential?" Oh, is suffering essential, or is the mentality you may adopt once suffering is over the main thing? So if you picked one, which would you be?
The definition of suffering here, right? Before you answer the question, is the state of undergoing pain, distress, or hardship. Right? We live in a world where we know full well that's not going anywhere. There are just different levels of these things. So if we take it from that point of view, it's not about whether we don't want to go through suffering, because we are going to. Yeah. So if we just focus on the benefits of suffering to the human being, then we can answer this question a bit differently. I know you're going back and forth a bit regarding if we would want to choose suffering, if it is we didn't have to choose suffering. The different levels of pain and distress that one can feel, and we can't escape it. Yeah. So as part of the human condition, what can we get or benefit from going through suffering? If we can take it like that, then it's a bit different. Yeah. Maga. And one of your prophets...
You don't have to say that every time.
Sorry. One of your prophets...
The girls know.
Maga. Born as a sufferer, grew up as a sufferer, struggle as a sufferer. You want to finish
it? You will not die a sufferer.
So
to the glory of God, you will not.
I'm saying,
finish this bloody...
I can't remember the last
All right, cool.
I just know as a sufferer.
Make it as a sufferer, fight as a sufferer, survive as a sufferer, youths in the ghetto.
It's lyrics he's singing.
What lyrics? I'm thinking, what is this from?
Most of them are sufferer.
What's this? Where is this from?
Bounty Killer.
Your music?
It's not my music, it's Brownie.
Oh.
Yeah, one of
it's a Caribbean thing.
Yeah.
Jamaica.
I think we're conditioned, because like you're saying, the suffering is going to happen. There's just different degrees of it, innit? Like, you can't take it away, But it's our mindset to make good out of the bad, and then neglect everything. Not neglect everything else, but it's like, how can we feel like we can only learn in tough times? Like, being happy, you can't learn from that. You can't take nothing from that.
Because sometimes life is so blissful, you don't, you know.
No, it's because of the way we conditioned ourselves, and because and in the way that we look at things. You know what I'm trying to say? That. So when things are going good, you're not even praying. Some people not even noticing why things are going good, or you're just there and just enjoying.
Do you know what it is as well? Some people don't even appreciate what it is that they have while it's going good.
This is what I'm saying. Do you know what I mean? It's just the way we be conditioned. It's like only times there's teaching moments and when things are bad. Like, that's not true.
No, it's not true. there are teaching moments in times that are good as well, but if we're honest with ourselves, when times are good, we're just lost in the goodness. We don't really think about, you know,
what can I learn from this?
The lessons that you can learn, like, okay, being grateful and, you know, counting your blessings and praying and being thankful to God or whoever you believe in for, you know, the blessings bestowed upon you. But for the most part, I believe human beings don't really take teaching moments from good things. That's just what I believe in it. I think like when something good's happening, you're just basking in the glory of the goodness. You're not thinking about, oh, this is, you know what I mean? And this might sound like a super question, but what lessons, besides some of the things I mentioned, can you learn from good things happening? I feel like there's more lessons to be learned from bad things for some reason.
Yeah, I think there's more lessons to be learned from bad things.
Yeah.
You remember it easier, don't you?
Yeah.
It's easier to remember.
Yeah, because it seems more poignant.
That ain't a word.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
And also, remember with bad things, there are things that you don't want to do again. You don't want them to happen again. So you make a point to remember, oh, okay, this happened. I don't want this to happen again. Yeah. Why? Change this, change that. When good things happen, it's like...
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. We've been conditioned to mess ourselves up because really it should be, oh, good things are happening. I want this to happen again. I want this to keep happening.
Or like, how do I keep this happening?
You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
Why?
Cool,
and learn from that. It's just, we just... Like, I think like you can learn from anything if you're going to apply yourself.
True.
You know what I'm trying to say? Like, it doesn't have to be pain and negative like all the time. Like,
but you know, I think it's just a human thing because when you think about even the saying, you never know what you have until you lose it. That applies to everything in life. Do you get what I mean? Like, you don't realize how valuable a person is in the workplace until they're not there anymore. Now you got to pick up what they were doing. Like, it applies in so much way. I think it's human nature when things are good for us to just want to just enjoy that calmness, that peace. Do you get what I mean? It's just easier to go along. I think some people do learn in good. I've therefore had moments where I've learnt in good. Yeah. But it's not something that we by nature do. Yeah. It's something that you have to set out. If you're someone who sets out to learn and to evolve in every situation you are in life, then you will be mindful of that. Do you get me? Like, I appreciate the fact that I have a job. I don't need to lose my job to appreciate the fact that I have a job. I'm grateful every single day I have a job. Do you get me? I'm grateful every single day for life. I don't have to lose somebody to realize that, damn, life can be... Do you get what I mean? But again, not everybody... I think the way humans are conditioning to just learn more when times are hard than when it's all good.
I think so.
Yeah. But another question is, so can you suffer and just be worse off for it? If so, why would it be essential?
Can you suffer and be worse off?
Yes.
And if you are worse off, why would that be essential?
Yeah, so you know how we say like we're suffering can come good because you learn blah blah. Yeah. But can you actually be suffering and be worse off?
Yeah, not all suffering, not all good comes from suffering. Some suffering is just
really
suffering. Yeah. So yeah, I don't believe that all good comes from suffering, and there's always lessons to be learned. Sometimes you just something bad happens to you, and that's it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I don't think that's essential.
Yeah, no.
I think it depends on how it is that you frame whatever you're going through, because that good thing that you wouldn't classify as good might be resilience.
All right, but is there always light after darkness? Like, is there always light after darkness? Is it, you know what I mean? Like, is that the way life is written? That no matter what you go through, hardships, hard times, there'll always be light? I don't think so.
No.
I think it's how you look at it.
Okay, let's just say...
Yeah, actually.
Okay, so are you saying take the good in any bad situation, no matter what happens? Just, for example, just say you're homeless and you feel bad that you're homeless, you've got no money, you're on the streets. In that situation, still take the good? Is it, okay, cool, I'm homeless, but I'm still alive?
You know
what I mean? Is it always take the good from the bad? And then what if, before you even get back to where you want to be, you pass away? You know what I mean? Like, was there any light there?
I think we create the light. I think the light is there if you want the light to be. Sometimes life doesn't give you the light. Yeah. So say, for example, someone is homeless. Like, I know...
Like yourself,
Yeah, so the person might be like, I'm homeless, and they might die homeless. Yeah. However, while they were homeless, they were always grateful that they had life. They were always grateful that they were at least alive and they could at least get by day to day. People were donating stuff to them. Yeah. They've created their own light. Yeah. But there was no light outside of this homelessness. Yeah. So I think you can create your own light. But again, that's us looking at the glass half full.
Yeah. That's Jedi mind tricks shit. Like, anybody can, like sometimes there ain't no light at the end of the tunnel. Sometimes it's just peril. You know what I'm trying to say? Like,
that's kind of what I'm asking.
Because everybody's going to tell themselves that and try and learn something from it. Oh, I got resilient. Oh, I learned how to
but then that's your light, though.
My life. And shut up, man.
But that's your light, though.
Huh?
So what you said, you're
It's like you're forcing that meaty light on yourself because you ain't got
it's not
no
forcing
choice
It's not forcing it.
for anything else. You want to
It's
start
not- you know
talking
what,
shit
you
that
know
is
what-
self-reflection. Oh, I'm so strong now.
No, in that scenario,
shut up, man. No one wants to go through this shit.
Yeah, of course, in that scenario, of course, because no one wants to be homeless, no one wants to be down bad, innit?
Yeah.
So for you to be like, yeah, I'm homeless, but at least I've still got my sight or whatever. Like, it's like you're just finding reasons to make yourself feel good.
Yeah, but that's still light though.
No, it's still light, but you know what it is? Okay, just say you're homeless, right?
Yeah.
This is your life now, innit? So this is kind of all you know.
Yeah.
So you're finding the good in your day-to-day, innit?
Yeah.
But given the choice, you wouldn't be homeless. You would be,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? So it's like, you're not forcing it, like you said, but I feel like you're just trying to make light out of a bad situation.
But you know what it is? I think it comes back to the fact that with life will give us things that we have no control over.
Yeah.
Life is going to happen.
Yeah.
So life happening to someone is their homelessness. So the thing is, you can't, because I would rather like grasp for anything I can than sit and constantly be reminded of what it is, the pain that I'm in. Do you get what I
Yeah.
mean? So I would grasp for any form of, if I get a bottle of water, best believe this is the brightest light in my day. Do you get what I mean? So I think it's a way of survival for human beings anyway.
Yeah.
But I still think that light is still worth being light because life is going to happen. It's just so much that we have no control over, so much tragedy that can happen to us.
Yeah.
And I think that what is the good thing about life is being able to be like, okay, this has happened. I had no control over this. However, I do have some control over how it is I'm going to feel and how I'm going to look at this thing.
Yeah.
I always admired that.
No, I agree.
I always admire that. I think being able to actually pick up any good that you can. Yeah, I think that's such an amazing thing that any human can do, regardless of how down bad you are. To be able to pick up any good from any bad situation you go through, I think that's an amazing thing.
It is a good quality, and obviously you're only going to learn it from going through stuff,
Yeah.
and persevering in that. And like everything that you go through led you to where you are, innit?
Yeah,
Made you the person that you are. Yeah. So even those times you were suffering, they're important to your story
Yeah.
for it to get where it's got to.
yeah.
But I don't know if they was necessary. You get what I'm trying to say? That because you
Yeah.
could have been someone different. It doesn't mean it's going to be any better or any
that's
worse. Do you know what I'm trying to say? That you could have been someone different if you went through different things. I don't know if it's if it's necessary. That we just have to you deal with what you got to deal with, innit? And you go through what you go through. But I don't want to start telling myself, oh yeah, it's important to suffer. And that. No one wants to suffer, man.
No, I don't think you tell yourself it's important to suffer, but when things do happen,
When you're suffering,
you just try to learn from it. innit?
roll with the punches. Literally roll with punches. It's funny because you just answered the next question because you said about
Before you go into that, please,
Yeah.
Esther. So you have a son, and you are a guy who looks at the world in a logical way, right? You don't kind of mamby-pamby over things that you know full well. You just seem to crack on with. So at one point in time, you're going to teach him that the world is harsh, and he still needs to power through. So you're going to show him there's going to be pain, there's going to be suffering, there's going to be this, there's going to be that. But how do you now approach it or face it? Isn't that life lessons that you're going to be teaching your son? And why is that important? That he knows that.
Because bad things are going to happen. You need to go on. They're not important in the grand scheme of things. You get me? So yeah, you need to. I told you, we need perseverance and all these things. Like, but he's like, ideally, you don't want him to suffer.
But you're going to tell him, that's nice, but it's life.
Huh?
It's nice that you don't want people to go through pain and for there to be pain in the world, but you're going to tell him, brother, this is life.
Yeah, but there's varying degrees of it. If I sort myself out, there's certain things he's never gonna go through, and then sometimes it's like everybody's suffering's different. You get what I'm trying to say? Like I'd rather be moaning about suffering about trivial things.
100%.
You know what I'm trying to say?
You're
Like,
not
not
going to
serious
send
things.
him out there unprepared, though, right?
No, of course not.
Why is that important that you don't send him out there unprepared?
Because knowledge is power. If you got all the information, then you can make proper decisions from it. You get me? So what? So you think it's simple? That's what I say. But then, what level of suffering are you talking about? Then, like, it's not necessary. Like, I get what you're saying.
No, I'm not saying suffering is necessary because that's not the question.
All right,
The question is suffering an important part of being a human being?
I think yes.
I think it is.
As much as we don't want it, and we don't wish it on ourselves, I think it is important. But it's one of the things where, like I said, you don't want it, but embrace it when it happens and learn.
Okay, it is important, and it's because of the way we've taught ourselves and the way we've been conditioned, and that we only really find teaching moments in times of sorrow, need, desperation. That's why. So if we was able to reset and condition ourselves and be able to take everything from everywhere, would it be as necessary or as important?
If we can pass through life with no suffering, then everyone would choose that route, innit?
Not necessarily no suffering, but taking more from, because like you said, when things are good, we just take it for granted. We're not learning nothing. It's when things are bad and we're downtrodden when we want to sit down and focus and get closer to God and all this shit. Like, you know what I'm trying to say? That if we could do it when things was good in times of prosperity, and just managed to learn and stuff like that, would it still be as important?
I think so. I think people still learn from good times, but it's different lessons, isn't it?
Yeah.
You get different lessons from good. You get different lessons from bad, innit? So, but we need all those lessons. We don't need just lessons from good times, innit? We need the lessons from bad and good. So, it's like a balance, innit? You need both. You need both, innit?
Fair enough.
Yeah, I guess we kind of answered that. Whether it's about the mentality, the fortitude, and discipline you adopt afterwards, and whether these can be developed without. I think it can be. I think it'll be different lessons. Do you know what I mean? Like, as much as obviously, I think suffering will teach you some things.
Yeah.
Because in life, some people don't suffer and they're good. But I think suffering will teach you some things. But I think not suffering as well, like living in bliss, living a good life, will to teach you some things as well.
Also, how much lessons do you learn from watching other people suffer and go through things that you haven't gone through yet?
Oh, I definitely learn from those.
I mean, you see them go through hardships and you're like, okay, what mistakes did they make to get to where they are? I'm going to avoid X, Y, Z because I don't want to be where they are now. I mean,
I have a question, Max, just to, again, cycle back. So you want to make sure and you be a wealthy man so that your son has everything he wants, right?
Yeah.
And everything he needs, right?
Yeah.
So if it is that you pamper that whatever, right? Pamper him to death, are you basically setting him up for a proper, well-lived life?
Well, when you say pampered, do you mean like sheltered? Because you can give someone
you remove all of the aspects of suffering that you went through, and you don't having taste any of that, or see any of that, hear any of that. So you've now, whilst he's under your tutelage, 100% you've pampered him, sheltered him. He's lived in a cocoon, and you've then sent him out.
What, into that world?
It can't be in the same world in which it is that you used to live in because you don't live in there anymore, right? So he doesn't even know about that world.
Exactly.
But
so he won't need the lessons that 100%, I had.
But he might like run into people from that world because the world is a big place, but London is a very small place. So it might be possible that he might run into a younger you, down the road. How would he fare? And then when he comes back and tells you, you're looking at him like he's like, what did I teach you? And he's like, you taught me nothing. you taught me nothing.
That's a different scenario. I get what you're saying, but I think I don't think there's nothing wrong with, because obviously that I can make you pampered and sheltered to a certain lifestyle that I want to keep you from. I have got no intentions of you going that lifestyle, so you do not need none of these tools. It would be cool for you if you had them to be street smart and wise on that, yeah, but this ain't the field that you're going to be playing in. You do not need none of these tools, none of these experiences that I had. You don't need them, really. You get me? I could prepare you for the world that you're going to live, which is different, which ain't worrying about all them hardships and all them things that are not even involved in it. Then you don't need them. So I haven't done you a disservice. You know what I'm trying to say? If I've put you on a different path so that you didn't even step foot in there in the first place. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, if you do try and go down that road, then it's on you for like trying to do that, because I took you away from all that stuff. You don't even know that stuff. You know what I'm trying to say? Remember, there's loads of people that, but the way that we live or the way that I've lived, there's a big demographic who think it's normal and all that. But where you are the minority, where the minority is in the minority, you know what I'm trying to say? That it's not even like just like black people or people of color, whatever. Like when you get into like the criminal underworld, where the minorities in the minorities, the majority of life is not lived like how we live. You know what I'm trying to say? So I don't need to show you none of this shit. I don't want you to live none of this shit. You know what I'm trying to say? That, and that's not me doing a disservice to you. I just need to take you away from. You shouldn't know none of this stuff. You need to live a different life. I've done it before, so you don't have to. That's the whole thing.
Suppose it's just the base layer of you showing him how to basically make something out of nothing, right? And using his not street smart, but this is lyrical prowess in order to make something out of nothing. Because at one point in time, he may not have the cushion that you've provided for him, right? So in that sense, forget about the criminal underworld. I'm just talking about you hustling.
Yeah. Yeah, you do want to install a bit of hustling nature in them. You get me? But with that stuff like that, you lead by example. See man getting up and going to work and building man's empire every day. And then you learn from that. It's like what you're saying, when you can learn from people's mistakes, you can learn from things that people do right as well. You get me? So you can just go in there and just lead by example.
Okay. So our takeaway from the conversation is that you want him, obviously I'm embellishing himself for effect, you want him to be as pampered as possible so that when it is that he goes out there, he doesn't have to kind of grind for anything, work for anything, hustle for anything. And that would be you, thumbs up, yeah, I did well as a father.
Yeah.
All right, okay.
Yeah, I've never been of one of them. I've never been of the mindset of them people that want to work hard, and then obviously you want to install certain things in them and stuff like that. But if I'm doing it, like I can't take it with me. I'm leaving it for a purpose. Like this is all for you. Or them people whose parents are rich and I don't want to take their money. I want to go and do it myself. Shut up, you idiot. I could tell you never had no broke parents, man. What the fuck are you talking about? You get what I'm trying to say? Like, nah, I've done this for you. Take all my monies. Don't do anything stupid with it. And obviously there's things I have to teach you and install in you. And
So
all
you
that.
don't do anything stupid
so
with
you
it,
don't do anything stupid. But yeah, if I could make you live like that, then I've served my purpose. This is what I've done. I'm happy with what I've done.
So you don't kind of look down on people or look at people a certain way when they look as though they've been fed with a golden spoon.
No, because that's them and that's their right to earn that. I'll look at when someone's been fed from a golden spoon, I look at how you got there. And I respect the decisions that the people in front of them made. And this is the benefits of the decisions that they made. This is the whole point of it. You know what I'm trying to say? I can't be onto anyone for like that. That's man, live. Because if it was me, I know what I'd be living. You get me? You think my dad or my mum done all that stuff for me to be sitting there chatting shit? No, that's my money too. You get what I'm trying to say? This is my business.
Our money.
This is my house. This is my land. You get me? That was my birthright. You get what I'm trying to say? Like, what are you fucking talking about?
Okay.
Yeah.
Right, fair enough.
Just the last few questions. Sorry, Proverbs said, confiscated. Is Proverbs a woman or man?
It's a woman.
Yeah, so she confiscated her
Sorry,
son's...
she's a woman. I don't. Sorry.
Yeah, going for it. She confiscated her son's PlayStation and he said it was child abuse.
Is that what he said?
That's what the child said.
King.
Kids are so funny, you know.
Black King right there.
Kids are hilarious. But yeah, okay, so do you think that suffering makes us more compassionate towards other people? And do you think that you can truly empathize with someone else if you yourself haven't gone through real pain and suffering?
So the first question, with shared experiences, isn't it? So if you know what someone's going through and you can empathize, or sympathize,
I would say empathize.
Empathize with them, then obviously you can relate. So yeah. If you haven't gone through it, then you have no idea the pain that this person's experiencing right now.
Do you think so?
You can, to a degree, yes.
Okay.
To a degree, just being a human being, you understand, for example, if someone loses a family member, you can understand
that's
the pain.
Yeah.
But you don't feel exactly what they're feeling. If you haven't gone through it yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Max?
What's that question again? Sorry.
So do you think suffering makes us more compassionate towards other people, firstly?
Yeah, definitely.
And then do you think that you can truly empathize with a person or sympathize with a person if you yourself haven't gone through loss and pain and stuff?
I think you can, depending on your connection with the people, because some people's empathy is not capped. Some people are just empaths, innit? And they can feel. And obviously, they don't have the raw experience of what you've gone through, but I'm with you, and how you're feeling in this moment is hurting me, innit? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm feeling it. I'm listening to your story. I'm hearing what you've gone through. It's not a competition of, you're thinking of it like, if you can empathize with someone, you can empathize. Like, I feel your pain. Like, I'm not saying I'm not like saying I can relate. You know what I'm trying to say? But I feel the pain you're feeling now. I feel it's like when if you go to like funerals and stuff like that, like you can see someone do a eulogy or someone sitting next to you, and someone being distraught, can make you worse.
Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say? It's not to say like you didn't care, but it's like that in that moment you're empathizing with that person. You're feeling. You might not necessarily feel as bad as they do, but you're feeling pain. Yeah, but you're feeling.
Yeah, you're not feeling as bad as them, but you're feeling pain.
Yeah, and they can make your pain worse because of their reactions. Just you empathizing it, and that's what I'm saying. In that moment, your connection, maybe your relationship to the person ain't the same, so you can't necessarily relate like that. But you can feel everything that they're feeling. You know what I'm trying to say? Like you don't necessarily have to go through things to empathize with people. I don't think.
Yeah, I agree because I'm naturally an empath. So like two is very extreme. My this thing that's in me. So sometimes it's not. I haven't exactly been through exactly that.
Yeah.
However, what you said, like seeing that person hurt and just imagine what that pain must be like. It's like it hurts me so much. Obviously, it will never be as the person who's literally going through it.
Yeah.
But it is something that kind of. So I agree with that. I think that I do think suffering will make you more compassionate to other people. So if someone's going through something that you've gone through, it's like, damn, I've been there. I know what it's like, kind of thing. But I also think there are people as well who can even still be like, still feel that deeply without having gone through it themselves. But to round up, so if you could choose a life with or without suffering or struggle, which would you pick?
Without.
Can I like set the level of struggle?
You do anything you want to do. Why are you asking me? Come on.
If it's like minimum sufferation.
Explain yourself, because we
Not
just
minimum
went
sufferation.
through a back and forth where you say you would rather choose no suffering.
Yeah, but then obviously we had a conversation. You're saying certain things in it, so obviously like for like little teaching moments, sometimes just to just to probe and prod you.
Good now.
Yeah, I'm just talking about for myself now. Maybe like just little bits of sufferation, not anything serious. That's what I say. If I can choose, if it's just yes or no, I'm gonna say
Not
no.
my life at risk.
Yeah, I'm gonna say no. But if I can like compose this a bit and just like little bits of sufferation and hardship, then all right, you know what? Add it in because it's gonna make me a well-rounded human being, innit?
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm trying to say?
Right.
But anything too,
Yeah.
nah.
Yeah.
Nah.
I'm
I don't
think,
need it.
Yeah.
of course, but I also know the person that I've become from going through stuff, man. And I love that for me. I really, do you get me? I love that person. I don't think that I would reach those levels if I hadn't been through certain things I've been through.
Yeah, I don't care. I don't want to have to be that so strong. I've gone through bad stuff. I know about personal.
It's not strong though. It's not even about strength. It's about
whatever it may be. I would rather not.
But doesn't that contradict what you just said?
Huh?
Doesn't that contradict you saying you want to go through a bit of struggle?
Yeah, but I was talking about little bits of struggle. When I'm talking about, I've been through.
He did this. He did this.
I said a sprinkle of struggle.
Yeah. Just a little sprinkle of struggle, not like
What's a
the
sprinkle
real.
of struggle, for example? Because I'm struggling to understand what you're saying.
All right.
You're about to
Okay.
be my struggle.
I'm gonna throw some examples in there. Yeah.
All right, come on, let's go.
A car crash.
Nope, don't need that.
I said, nope.
Multiple parking tickets in 1 month.
I could learn from that.
What do you learn from that? Because you get
Just follow the rules.
multiple. Because if you didn't learn the first, second one, now you're on your fourth for the month.
Yeah, but you know what? It's gonna get to the point where something's got to give. You know what? Follow the rules.
Yeah.
Just play within the system. There's a teaching moment.
You play within the system.
If
I'm
somebody
gonna need you to be real about these questions, Marks.
if somebody defrauds your account,
Oh no, I don't need that.
money gone, trouble in there.
Yeah, I don't need that. I
Don't need that. A girlfriend cheats on you with your best friend.
Ooh,
I could learn something from that.
really? What do you learn from that? If you say women come interested, I'm gonna cut him. I'm gonna go up and cut your mic myself.
Man is dog, gal is wicked.
You had a promising football
right.
career and you done your ACL.
Oh no, I don't need that. Don't need that.
Do you know what's mad to me? Yeah, the things that you're saying is a sprinkle of struggle. The inconveniences, they're not struggle.
No, he struggled with. I went to McDonald's. I said, "Yo, put a cheese in my McCrispy," and
they
then
said,
there was no
"When
cheese. I said, "Put the cheese in my McCrispy." You know what I mean? That's what he took.
Yeah, I don't want nothing
Yeah,
serious.
yours are inconveniences, babes. Yeah.
I don't want nothing serious.
All right. Do you guys think you can achieve all your goals without struggle or suffering or anything like that?
Well, realistically, no, because it's like what you're saying. It's a part of life, isn't it? So it's going to be a part of your journey.
Goals like what? Business goals, career.
I think any kind of goals, because obviously it's
kind
just
of
life playing out, innit? Your goals is going to take set in your life playing out,
Yeah.
and it's like what Brent said earlier.
Yeah.
They're just suffering and pain is going to be part of that story. We just don't know to what level.
Would you rather go through a life with no struggle, blissful, or have a bit of struggle, or have blissfulness and watch? Your life is about watching others suffer.
You lost me.
So I know there's too many variables. you get to watch others suffer.
I don't want to see
and learn from their suffering, but you don't suffer at all. Or you suffer as well, and you have light as well, and you learn.
No, I don't suffer.
Or no suffering. 2 or 3 variables. I'll do 2.
You came up with this. I'm
thinking, what's best for the parallels?
I don't want to suffer.
Oh, actually, so you get to live a blissful life. You watch other people suffer.
Yeah.
Or you suffer, and everyone else is enjoying life.
Yeah, true.
No, blissful life. Everybody else suffers.
Okay. What?
Yeah.
You know, he said what he said.
But if you take on some suffering, it will ease some suffering for others.
Who's these others you're talking about?
Your friends and family. Friends and family.
Man said, who is
Friends and family. Loons, Beanos and them man there.
Okay, I can take a little bit from my friends and family.
Yeah.
But that's it.
That's it.
the white people.
From Brent. You take something from Brent?
Brent's my family.
Will you take something from me, man?
Huh?
E-man.
You are my family.
Alright, cool.
I like how you extended that. Stop had to be good.
I cannot. All right. Okay. Well, that's enough of that. Let's get into our next headlines. So there are calls to stop the use of gagging orders to silence victims. Police chiefs have been covering up the misogyny suffered by female officers and staff and must stop using gagging orders to silence victims, the leader of the rank and file officers has revealed. Steve Hartshorn, chair of the Police Federation, which represents 130,000 officers up to the rank of chief inspector, said there should be a hostile environment for corrupt officers. We told the Guardian that he told The Guardian that chief constables bore the brunt of the blame for the crisis that was sapping the legitimacy of policing. So my words are. His comments follow a report by the official policing inspectorate that warned that hundreds, if not thousands, of suspect officers had passed a defective vetting system and should not be out on the streets with huge powers over their fellow citizens. Hartshorn said female officers and staff who suffered at the hands of their male colleagues should be treated as victims. He added, if we are going to take a chief constable of force and hold them to account, there are times when the force will want a non-disclosure agreement, NDA, in place so they can pay out, not admit liability and almost sweep it under the carpet, which we find unacceptable. He said legal advice from the Police Federation for officers who wanted the experience publicised was that they should resist accepting an NDA. Hartshorn said, if our members are being victimised and bullied, that needs to be called out on every level to make sure the members know we are supporting them and that the bullies and criminals have no place in policing. Let's get policing back to where it needs to be. We'll see if they can do it. So there's a Dover petrol bomber who tweeted that he wanted to obliterate Muslim children. Trigger warning. Sorry, guys. So it has been revealed that Andrew Leake said he planned to obliterate Muslim children an hour before his firebomb attack in Dover, amid continuing questions about why it took police so long to treat the incident as terrorism. In his final tweet before the attack, Leake, age 66, said, "We will obliterate their Muslim children. They are now our targets, and their disgusting women will be targeted, mothers and sisters burned alive." That is wild. It was posted at 10:22 a.m. on Sunday. An hour later, at about 11:20, Leake was photographed releasing a plastic bottle taped to a lit firework on Dover's Harbour Western Jetfoil, where dozens of people had crossed the channel in small boats, were waiting to be processed by Border Force officers. In a Facebook post in October last year, Leake said he had written to the government warning, "I will end illegal immigration into this country within 1 year from the French boat side." He later tweeted, "We will stop these boats." 2 people were hurt in the attack involving 3 petrol bombs. Leake was found dead minutes afterwards at a nearby petrol station. Leake's final tweet was revealed in an archive of his social media postings compiled by the anti-fascist charity Hope Not Hate before they were deleted. On Tuesday, counter-terrorism police said they were now investigating the incident after multiple calls for it to be treated as an act of terror. How is that not an act of terror anyway?
Death penalty.
You what?
Huh?
What'd you say?
Huh?
I actually missed that.
I said death penalty.
Oh, yeah. I don't know how that wasn't treated as an act of terrorism in the first place anyway.
And this is why Suella Braverman's rhetoric is so dangerous. She's in government, right? And she's screaming, it's an invasion. And after she's done that, this is what's happened.
It's actually mad. It's very, very wild. But you know what? Let's get into our word on road for today.
Crazy lady.
You look about Cruella.
Yeah.
It's great. It's mad. Firstly, so there's been rumours that Spice was in a coma. Some blog page put out a post saying that she went to DR and got surgery, possibly like cosmetic surgery, and things kind of went wrong. And a source, always the sources that come out of nowhere, a source basically said that, you know, she was in a coma and there was some complications and she was in a coma. But anyways, her booking agent, because there was a lot of concern, people were very concerned and all that kind of stuff, and her booking agent basically come out to say she's not in a coma, that she's fine, Spice is fine, Spice is good. She said she didn't suffer a heart attack and she's not in a coma. So the image that's been painted was that she had a heart attack during the surgery and blah blah and then blah blah. So yeah, her booking agent just come to dispel those rumours and to say that this is all right and she's not in a coma. So panic and worry over for everybody. And my next bit is about Dwayne Wade. So you know Dwayne Wade, the basketball player?
Yeah.
Yes, women in sports. Obviously married to the beautiful Gabrielle Union. So his ex-wife, so they've got kids from his previous marriage. And one of his children is his daughter, who's transgender, Zaya. So Zaya's age 15, right? And Zaya is from his previous marriage to his other wife. So the other wife, the ex-wife, has now come out to say, firstly, when they got divorced in 2012, he got custody of the kids. Like full custody of the kids. So he was taking care of all the kids. And she said how she believes he got full custody because of his fame and power and the money. That's why he got full custody. Cool. So anyway, she's now come out to say that she thinks that he is exploiting Zaya's strands. Basically, he's exploring Zaya's journey into being into being a woman for financial gain, basically.
Okay.
So she's saying that. So currently they're basically in court to change. I think she wants to change her gender, and I know that he's trying to, as in Dwayne Wade is trying to get the court as well to legally change her gender as well.
The mum wants him to wait till she's 18, innit?
Yeah. So the mum is saying wait till she's 18 because she just feels like he's just doing all of this because it's financial gain. So since Zaya came out as trans in 2019, so she was 12 then. She's like been on runways. She's Zaya's basically the it girl right now. She is the it girl of the industry. Sis is absolutely flourishing. Do you get what I mean? Been getting deals with like who was it? Was it Tiffany or something? Just getting really good deals and runways and being a fashion babe, everything, living life, right? So yeah, so the mum is basically saying that she doesn't like what's going on here and that she feels like this is just a thing to profit from. Neither Dwayne or Gabrielle Union haven't spoken up. They haven't said anything about it. So in her legal filing, the mum said, "I have concerns that Dwayne has maybe pressuring our child to move forward with a name and gender change in order to capitalize on the financial opportunities that he has received from companies." So people publicly praise, Dwayne and Gabrielle Union for how they've handled the situation, how they speak up and stand up for Zaya. I know even like down to social media, like the comments are restricted. Like everything is so, they've put everything in place to make sure they protect this child. And she is a child. She's 15. Do you get what I mean? So, and obviously with that as well, there's come some, backlash here and there, but they literally fight against it. They did not want Zaya to talk about until Zaya was ready for it. Like they've taken a lot of care when it comes to this situation because it is a sensitive matter for the family. So it's just interesting that the mum has come out and said that, she's saying that she wants the court to wait till she's 18 before her gender and her name is legally changed.
Do you agree with that?
I think it's about what Zaya wants. I think what she needs to do is actually speak to the child away from who the child lives with. So away from Dwayne, if she's very concerned, away from Dwayne Wade, away from Gabrielle, and speak to the child and see where the child's head is at. Because sometimes parents are just supporting what it is that a child wants. And I think with certain things as well, it's a bit tricky for you to insert yourself. Do you get me? For you to insert yourself and dictate what you want the child to do because you're not really feeling what this child is feeling.
Yeah.
So I think if she is concerned, I do always believe that children should be in a place where they are able to make that decision for themselves. So I've read situations where like kids are like age 6 and the parents are telling the GP, do a gender reassignment surgery. Child is 6.
Yeah.
I'm like, how do you know? Because you know with kids, kids are kids, innit? And I think until a child understands what this entails fully, I don't think that they should do something as permanent as gender reassignment surgery. A child,
I agree.
It's wild to me because one time a child wants to be Spider-Man, the next day they might want to be a princess. Do you get me? I just think children, I just don't think you should take their word as gospel from the first thing they say to you. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
But I think with Zaya being 15, this is something she came out as when she was 12. And from the interviews they've done, it's something that was there before. So she didn't even tell them as soon as she felt that way. Do you get what I mean? So I think that she should speak to her child. I think speak to the child first. And then with that, even if you're going to petition to the court, then you got that backing of what it is that the child wants. I just think certain things, it's a bit too sensitive for you to say, this or that. I remember like when I was 16, I changed my last name from my sperm donor's name to my mum's name. And I remember my grandparents were like, oh no, obviously they're very cultural. So they're like, oh no, this is blah, blah, blah. My mum was like to them, at the end of the day, this is what she says she wants to do. I can't tell her not to do it because I don't know what it's like not to have a father. I have do you get what I mean? So I just think with certain things, you can't really dictate. But I think what you can do is sit your child down and understand what it is they want to do, what it is that they want to do. So I think that's what she needs to do. At the end of the day, like, he's got full custody of the children anyway. If he has full custody, he's going to know the children more than she does. Yeah. Do you get what I mean? So that also comes to play in there. But
do you think there's any point where you override what your child wants? So just to say Zaya says, no, I want to do this now. I'm 15, but you're like, no, I believe you should wait until you're 18. It's only 3 years.
Yeah.
You'll be a bit more older, closer to adulthood.
Yeah.
And even though I don't believe you're going to change your minds, like this is what you want to do, I'll just feel more comfortable if you wait until you're 18. Who's got the final say here? Is it Zaya or is it the parents?
I think you're the legal. I would say the parent because you're the guardian.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think you can consider your children's feelings to an extent.
Yeah.
However, your children don't have the life experience that you do. And again, it's not about you changing your mind or anything.
Yeah.
But it's about, because with that, I've watched like stories from people who have had gender reassignment and everything.
Yeah.
It's way more than just that. Yes, they feel good in that. Do you know what? I feel like I'm finding the body that I want to be in.
Yeah.
However, there's so much mental stuff that comes with that as well. And children may not be able to understand that.
100%.
So in that say, I would say the parent,
Yeah, for sure.
But unfortunately, because she's not
Yeah, so Dwayne Wade, he's pushing for it to happen now, right?
Yeah, so he's
fine. He's happy
so with the gender, definitely. With the name, and the gender, definitely.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So I wonder what happens then in that situation where one parent wants one thing, the other is just a...
I think it will be him because he's got full custody.
Yeah, true.
Because he's the one he's got full custody. He's been living with it. Like he can bring more to the court's table than she can.
Is there a reason why he's got full custody over them?
I'm not sure, I'm not sure because for a woman not to be awarded full custody of the children, it's an interesting one. The kids will look like Dwayne as well, Or a carbon copy of them. Yes, I don't know why. I don't know why she never got full custody of the kids. But it's interesting, man. It's an interesting one. But all the best to all parties involved, as I say. But guys, that is all from me. Should we get into our woke or joke segment?
Let's go.
What we're dealing with today. A BBC investigation has found that conspiracy theorists who claim the UK terror attacks have been staged are tracking down survivors to their homes and workplaces to see if they're lying about their injuries. Some are yelling at jabs, and it shows. So it sounds like they've gone a bit too far. But do you blame them? Do they have a point? Wanted to see for themselves? It's not like the government has always been free with the truth. So with that in mind, these are the questions for today. What's the worst thing you have been told, heard about, or led to believe was a hoax or conspiracy, but it turned out to be true?
This is also the worst thing you've been told.
This is therefore a prep kind of question. I can't think of anything. I can only think of things that haven't been true.
I don't know. Nothing comes to mind right now.
I feel like the Illuminati is
because
true.
Most conspiracies that I believe in, I don't know if it's true or not. I mean, I haven't got the answers. It's just speculation and just theories, isn't it?
First thing I saw when I see conspiracy, I always think of how people thought Sierra was a
Sarah was a man.
Yeah, it's mad. And that's not true.
Yeah, that was not true. I don't know. I need to think. What's coming to mind now?
Nothing's coming to mind. Oh, so you see how The Simpsons always predicts stuff that happens?
Okay.
Do you believe there's like, what do you think about that?
You know what? Okay, this is a good one. Because obviously they've predicted or they've depicted a lot of things throughout the years.
Yeah.
Now. And for the most part, I feel like some of them are just coincidences. Some of them are just very easy guesses or luck. Do I believe that? Who's the creator of
Simpsons.
Matt Groening? Do I believe that,
Yeah.
he's a time traveler and that he went to the future, saw what was happening, came back and wrote it into The Simpsons? No.
Maybe the people that are copying The Simpsons.
There you go.
They're going to inspire from Simpsons.
I'm going to put The Simpsons down to just pure and utter coincidence.
Do you think so? I don't put it down to coincidence, you know. I believe, there are powers beyond us in this world.
Yeah.
I believe there are people who are able to...
But can I just interject quickly?
Your question.
But would it present itself in this way? If there were powers that be that could time travel and stuff, why would it be on end all be Simpsons? I mean...
No, I don't think they're time traveling, but I believe that there's sometimes things that we watch. What's it you said yesterday? Something about the things that we watch at like film and all that kind of stuff is a reflection of what society is. Is that what it says? It was something along those lines. But I think that
art reflects life, and that, innit?
Yeah, but I feel like even though it was before that, I don't think they necessarily got their insight from that. But I do believe that it's like how it's a good one. You know when someone is going to die, sometimes if you listen to the things that they've been saying before, there was indications that death was around the corner. But then when the death happens, it's like, now in hindsight, it's like, when they were saying this, do you get what I mean? So I believe that because you know what it is, with that as well, people don't know that they're essentially, because some people predict their death.
Some
people talk about it.
Are you talking about people who are living a dangerous lifestyle where death is literally around the corner,
No.
or someone who is far removed from death in terms of like, someone killing them or...
No. I'm talking about people that, so for example, like there's some people who they don't usually say like, I love you to people or whatever.
Yeah.
But for some reason, when they left you that day, like, I love you. I really appreciate you. Like, you mean a lot to me.
Yeah.
They leave. Next call you get is that the person died.
Yeah.
That person doesn't usually do that. So I feel like sometimes, like, I just believe that there's life is beyond what it is that we see. That I think that there's things at play where the people that wrote Simpsons, they might just thought, oh, this is us being creative or whatever it was. I don't feel like they really thought this was gonna happen. I don't feel like people that did it were watching Simpsons and got inspired from that. Yeah. But I think there's things in life where things happen. We talk about things, we say things, we put things out there, and we don't realize that it's a foreshadow of what's to come.
All right. So one of the examples that I can think of from Simpsons is when they predicted that Trump would be president. Right. So do you think it's easy back in whenever that episode was written? Right. It's an easy assumption or easy fake story to make that Trump, who is obviously a billionaire and one would be president. And as you're saying, art imitates life. Did Trump see that? And did that subconsciously
make him
think, wait a minute.
Yes, we can.
I'm running for president because Simpsons said that. I mean,
do you know what it is? I think they would have written that in jest.
Yeah.
Because he was a celebrity, but he was a celebrity that wrote that said outlandish things.
Yeah.
So that's one of the things where I don't think they realized that's something that was going to manifest into what it's going to be. I don't think that Trump. I don't see Trump watching The Simpsons, but then again, he and Mr. Burns are kind of friends. But yeah, I don't see Trump being inspired by The Simpsons to go and be president. Do you get what I mean? But I think that in like there's a power around us where sometimes we say and do things that we can't make human sense of until it happens, and it's like I was about to say unagi, but yeah.
That's it, unagi.
But yeah, I believe stuff like that. I think some things are just not coincidental.
Right then, you're a conspiracy theorist.
You mean? Oh.
No, you said. So, what do you currently believe?
What are you laughing about?
That's how he sets up stuff when he knows he's going to be...
Very cheeky.
Mischievous.
What do you currently believe that people think you're crazy for thinking if they knew?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Not crazy. I don't have wayward conspiracy theorists. Like, you know, for example, 9/11. I've watched a lot of, you know, think pieces on 9/11. So I'm kind of tapped into those conspiracies. Obviously, everything surrounding Michael Jackson's death as well. I heavily believe in.
You think Tupac's still alive?
I don't think Tupac's still alive. No, I think Tupac is dead. Because I always look at like the motivation behind the conspiracy. So even with the Tupac one, I'm like, what is the motivation for Tupac to fake his death and to be alive? I can't find it.
To be away from all of this
You know
stress.
what I mean? I can't find it.
I'll be honest, if I could live in an island, yeah, where I'm just like, just nothing and just calm and blah, 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 I would do it. So maybe that's why he did it. Maybe the pressures of life were too much and he wanted to be away from it. Because you never really know what someone's dealing with. So maybe it was all too much and he felt, you know what, fuck all of this. And the only way I can really, really detach myself without being disturbed, fake my death and just live somewhere else and have a new identity. If you guys could have a new identity, would you have a new identity?
No. Have you got anything that you believe in? That people think you're not crazy, but...
What about all the stuff we discuss here? All the aliens and the lizards and Iman saying that Prince Charles is a lizard and all the stuff like shifting and thing.
Iman's at home thinking I didn't
Oh,
do
it's
that.
Brent and Iman that believe it to be.
Yeah, Brent believes the royal family are reptilians. 100%.
Is there anything I believe in? No, I can't think of, not off the top of my head.
Brent doesn't, but cool.
See, that pushback wasn't even...
Yeah, it wasn't strong enough, was it?
Yeah, you see?
Because usually Brent would be like, when did I say that? When did I ever say that?
So 9/11, like, what do you think happened with 9/11, Marks? Do you believe in the conspiracy theories, like, regarding that?
Yeah, I believe that... I believe in that conspiracy theory. That the government had a hand in it to change the security laws around the world.
Oh, right, okay.
I think all these people that turn into their enemies was once their allies at one point and stuff like that, all these things. So there's connections across the board, you get what I'm trying to say? And when you say, oh, why would people do this? I don't know whether they planned for that or if things got out of hand or whatever, but I think all that stuff that happened with the terrorism and the way that they started prosecuting these countries and I think it's all things that they've put in place to get more control, to put more national security things up, more of the information, more cameras, stricter laws, all these things. I believe there's something in there.
Do you think that the UK has done that? And I know you say government, you don't mean everybody in government, you mean certain individuals who are actually putting the strings behind the scenes, right? I think there was a episode where Emmanuel was asking us about that. So I'm aware of what you mean when you say the government. Do you think the UK government has also done that in this past 10 years, maybe 15, regarding the whole terrorism stuff?
Well, I think UK, yeah, they have, but they just jump on the back of America, innit? And the same reason, obviously, the sister countries, they're working hand in hand. Anything that can happen there can happen here. They use it. I think it's all tied in, innit? You know what I'm trying to say? That. So I think that America and England are in cahoots. You get me? For the most part, I believe they're the same things. I believe that whatever conversations they're having, they make their decisions.
So whatever nefarious initiation that they basically, or initiative that they actually adopt, it's both of them are going to be doing it at one point in time because they both agreed, let's move this way together.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I believe that shit.
All right. And I'm not sure if it is that you heard like years ago where they were deliberating whether to push through the ability to listen in on phone calls and then kind of have certain buzzwords pop up and then they're like, cool.
Yeah.
Do you think that's happening behind the scenes?
Yeah, I think they listen to everything, can do everything. Obviously, it's just because obviously it's information, and you're not going to leave that kind of information on the table. The knowledge is how they get it in it. So even if it's done out of jurisdiction or whatever the words is, so it's not. You get me? It's all the evidence is inadmissible in court. We can't take you to court and think, but they know. You know what I'm trying to say? They're not allowed to listen to your phone calls, so they don't tell you to listen to your phone calls, but they want information, so they'll listen and do with that what they will. You get me? They definitely. There's no way they're gonna have access to that kind of stuff and not use it. It's impossible. Why would they?
So, do you think the ends justify the means? Because I believe that they've been thwarting a whole set of possible terrorist attacks. Because we've heard nothing since that last one.
Yeah, I think it's like the stuff like what you see in the movies and all that. Like, of even like, you get me? Like even like superhero shit. You know, people go and save the world. And everybody didn't know. They was all happy.
Yeah.
I think that shit happens like every day.
But are you cool with that? Are you cool with them having so much access to?
Yeah, if anything's happening, we have no idea.
Yeah,
But you're cool with that, yeah?
yeah. I mean, especially if they're using it to stop the end of the world.
Yeah.
It's like what they're saying. If there's like, they pick what information you don't want to get in it. If there's a say there's a comet coming towards Earth.
Yeah.
And it's gonna miss Earth by 4 miles.
Yeah. Just don't tell people.
Why the fuck are they gonna tell people that
Yeah,
for?
there's bad shit that happens that we
You
have
know
no
what I'm
idea
trying to say?
about.
Like, we probably go through pure close calls every single day.
Yeah.
Like every single day. We don't need to know all this stuff.
There's MI6 agents on missions right now doing their thing. We have no idea what they're doing, bro.
But would you rather not see behind the veil or behind the curtain? You, as Margs.
I like to know stuff. So I wouldn't mind seeing it. I could deal with it.
And you think you can handle that information?
Mm.
But you can't trust everybody else too.
No.
Because everybody else is dotish and
Yeah.
foolish.
Basically. Facts.
Mm. I have to talk to Emmanuel because that sounds like a good topic because he believes that everybody should pass a test in order to be able to vote, right? Because you voting is going to cause such a big shift in people's living. You should have a level of competency before being allowed to actually say, I'm going to vote for this person.
Okay.
And you might think, nah, you can't be looking to take away people's freedoms like that. Having them to test themselves or their competency level in order to basically do like a little tick. You should be allowed to choose whatever nonsense that you want to.
That's how it works.
I know that's how it works, but there's something in saying they can't be trusted with this information.
Yeah, no,
You've now told me I cannot be trusted, so you're not going to tell me. How do you know I can't be trusted?
I make my own things because I do that kind of stuff. I actually do that kind of stuff within my life. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, I don't need to feel the need to tell everybody everything. I discern what people can take and what they can't take. And I harbor so much information about things. And I don't feel bad about it or guilty about it because some people not in control of their emotions. Like, you get me what I'm trying to say? But I am the one who is, so I make these decisions for people.
God forbid somebody looks at you and says, nah, you can't handle this information. And then you find out. You wouldn't be offended, would you?
If they was wrong, yeah, I would. If they was right, I'd be like, fair play, man.
How would you qualify that, though?
The way I feel after hearing information.
Oh.
Yeah, the way I feel after I heard the information, I can be honest with myself and be like, yeah, I didn't need to hear that. Or, no, I'm surprised he thought that. Look at me, I could have took that. You get me?
I hear that. Cool.
Okay. Have you got anything that people would think you're crazy for believing? We can round up.
They didn't go to the moon?
Fair. But that could have been a photo
That's
shoot.
not fair, but all right.
I don't think they went to the moon.
What do you mean that's not fair? How is it not fair?
No, as in, I would like to know why he doesn't think that they went to the moon.
Okay.
Because I think since I've been living here anyway, yeah.
As in, on this earth.
Since I believe in you. When
It's so funny when you said that.
did you move here?
When did you move from where?
No, but since I've been living here on this earth,
Since I've been around.
every aspect of it, yeah, has evolved. They're making technological advances every day. Like, nothing's like it was back in the day. Like, nothing. The material they use in our clothes, the things they put in footballs so they can fly. Like, the technology, things used to be, it was so big, it was records. Then it went CDs, then it went mini discs. Now we don't even have anything. Like, you know what I'm trying to say? Like, the cars are electric now. Just every aspect of my life, yeah, there's been advancements in.
Yeah.
Apart from that space travel shit. They said they went up there in 60s.
You're saying there's been no advancement in space travel?
Well, they ain't gone back. Well, not like made a scene, or they
They
pretend
just haven't
to.
told you about it.
Then that's what I'm trying to say. Then they made people watch that in school. Like, allow it. Make another scene. Like, we haven't, for the what's going on behind closed doors, and this is why is because you don't know it, yeah? But that they made the public a part of that, yeah? The public was a part of this space race, boom, boom, Americans, Russians, boom, boom. It was a big part of it, yeah? You had them involved, and all of a sudden now they're not involved no more. So then now you just got to use conspiracy theories or people's ideas of what's this and what's that and what's that. You flew to the moon and broadcasted it around the world for everybody to see. Broadcast some more stuff for us to see. Like, you ain't making ain't doing nothing.
Yeah.
Like, it's the same shit.
That's not a logical reason for you to say that they didn't go to the moon.
But then obviously when
Because
people
it
want to
just
start,
means that you're saying they haven't told you.
Because
you know they have space stations up there.
when people want to start debunking it, I don't know anything. I don't know anything. That's we want to get into. If you want to get into all of that, yeah, I don't know anything. Yeah, I don't know what I don't know. Yeah, and people can't just tell me stuff, and I take it as gospel. That's just.
This is why to keep it from you, because you're just gonna say you're chatting crap.
That's fine, but what I'm trying to say is, yeah, they ain't made another show for the public, yeah, like what they done in the 60s. That was the 60s or wherever it was, yeah. All these years now, yeah, they should be flying up there in HD, yeah, doing backflips on the moon, showing us the space station, showing us what they're building up there. Like, they should be making advances in keeping with the rest of the world.
Should they also kind of let us into UFOs and stuff? All of the failed spacecraft that dropped and they were chilling in Area 51 and all that crap, because it was all over the news back then also. Should they also let us in on the developments in that particular area?
Of course.
Why?
Because if it's happening, it's part of the world. It's part of.
And we just talked about that. Maybe it isn't good for the world to know about what is actually out there.
Why? Unless you're saying it's threatening. I don't know. But there's nothing. There's nothing. You start putting people. I don't know. How can I say this, man? Like you said, it was there, innit? So why have you stopped? It was all over the news area. Why have you stopped? There's a reason why. There's no advancements here. You ain't got nothing new to tell us. That's
what you've deduced? That there are no advancements, so they're not giving you more information?
They ain't got
you know full well that they're keeping information from us. You've seen advances all around you. You have an iPhone in your hand. You've seen how technology can actually
That's technology. Grow. I ain't seen these spacemen do... I ain't seen... There's not one youth who's done what... What's his name? Armstrong.
Oh.
Neil Armstrong.
Yeah, there's not... who's the modern day Neil Armstrong? These youths, they're not doing nothing up there. They're not doing nothing.
Because you haven't heard about it?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, if they had something to show us, they'll show us.
You said that you don't believe that there's space stations up in space, right?
I never said I don't believe that. You said I.
So you don't believe what you don't.
Nope. You said I know there's space stations up there. I said I don't know anything.
So do you believe there's space stations up there?
I don't know.
He doesn't know what he doesn't know.
I don't know what I don't know. I don't know where these things are. Honestly, I don't know. I don't know. It's not a case of whether I believe or not. I don't know. There could be.
We'll get back to this on another episode because I want to have this as topic of the day.
All right then.
I want to get into this because your reasoning is interesting.
I thought we had this topic of the day already. This discussion.
No, but you forget sometimes.
Rings a bell.
He says stuff like this. All right, thank you.
All right, lovely. Thank you. But all right, should we get into our next headlines?
Yep.
Train strikes at the end of the month. Rail passengers could face strikes at both ends of November when the Train Drivers Union, ASLEF, meets next week to decide on further action later in the month, at the same time as RMT Industrial Action brings a week of disruption from Saturday. A week? Wow, stepping up the game. So 3 24-hour national rail strikes will bring many train services around Great Britain to a halt. A London Underground strike is also planned. Passengers have been warned to travel only if necessary. Most services will not run on Saturday the 5th, Monday the 7th, and Wednesday the 9th of November, when members of the RMT union at Network Rail, including thousands of signalling staff, will take action. On the first strike day, this Saturday, RMT staff and 15 train operating companies will join the strike. However, the smaller TSSA union has called off its planned action at Network Rail to facilitate further talks. About 20% of normal services are expected to run on strike days, with the first and last trains generally running between 7:30 a.m. and 6:30 p.m. Some disruption is expected in the early morning after each strike day. It's just Iman writing how he talks. Some disruption is expected in the early morning after each strike day, so plan your journeys properly, y'all. A strike by London Underground RMT members will halt virtually the entire tube network on Friday the 10th of November, with action by staff at Arriva, Rail London also reducing overground services that day. The Elizabeth line, which will start running through trains to and from central London from the Outer Reading or Shenfield lines for the first time on Sunday, will operate fewer trains and indirect services. So you guys just plan your journey, basically. Also, great news. They have reached a truce in Ethiopia. So surprise deal. Why are you laughing?
What's up?
This is the great news that killed me.
Oh.
I can't. So, a surprise deal has been reached in Ethiopian civil war, with both sides agreeing to halt their 2-year conflict, which led to thousands of deaths and warnings of a famine. The African Union, AU, has called it a new dawn. The agreement between the Ethiopian government and Tigrarian forces should allow aid deliveries to resume.
Tigerian?
I was thinking the same thing. I was thinking Targaryen forces, yeah? We're saying Starks on that.
I just feel like if he's not going to correct me, just do that. You're making a scene. I don't like that. So the World Health Organization, how do you say that?
I don't know. Tigrayan?
So you guys did all of that for...
I wasn't even reading it. I just heard what you said.
Tigrayan?
Let's go Tigrarian. It sounds more... sounds more country-like. Sorry. Someone's on a dock. Wow.
Tigrian. Yeah.
Are you going by the Google person?
No, I'm looking at how it's spelt.
Okay, because the Google person, she don't read no words. She doesn't know anything, that woman. All right, so the World Health Organization says almost 90% of people in the northern Tigray region need food aid, and about a third of the region's children are suffering from malnutrition. Although this truce is a major breakthrough, it will be received with some degree of caution. This is not the first ceasefire in the conflict. A previous one was breached in August, just months after both sides committed to it. This time, though, the agreements have gone further. Ethiopian government officials and representatives of the Tigray People's Liberation Front have signed up to a disarmament plan and the restoration of crucial services, including aid supplies. In the joint statement, it read, Ethiopia has only one national defense force. The TPLF, which is the Tigray People's Liberation Front, has made a major concession to disarm, demobilize, and reintegrate fighters into the federal army. Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed has described the agreement as monumental and is committed to implementing it. Former Nigerian President Obasanjo, who mediated the deal after a week of talks in South Africa, said it was just the beginning of the peace process. UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres said it was a welcome first step, which we hope can start to bring some solace to the millions of Ethiopian civilians that have really suffered during this conflict. Hopefully they stay with it and, there can be peace in the land.
Peace.
But it's time for the reactions. Let's get into our sports headlines.
Sports roundup. As you know, last night was Champions League again. Like the second round of the Champions League games, or the final round of the second night of the Champions League games. A lot of these games, the groups were decided and stuff already, innit?
Yeah.
But we'll just get into them. Real Madrid beat Celtic 5-1. Shakhtar Donetsk lost to RB Leipzig 4-0. AC Milan beat Red Bull Salzburg 4-0. Chelsea beat Dynamo Zagreb 2-1, but they lost Ben Chilwell. I think he's done his Achilles or something like that.
Was it?
And he's not going to make the World Cup, possibly. So
there's bare players that are just getting injured, man.
That's bad news. FC Copenhagen drew 1-1 with Borussia Dortmund. Juventus lost 2-1 to Paris Saint-Germain. Maccabi Haifa lost 6-1 to Benfica, and Man City beat Seville 3-1. There's some good teams going down into the Europa League.
Yeah. Also, I think people are saying Spurs might get PSG because PSG finished second in their group.
Oh, did Spurs finish second as well?
I believe so. Because the other team in PSG's group, they battered one team 6, was it?
6-1?
6-1. Yeah, Benfica beat...
Maccabi Haifa.
Yeah, which puts Benfica above PSG on goal difference.
Okay, so there's
So Spurs might have a tough look in with PSG. This is random, but big up Giroud, man. Giroud's in AC Milan flourishing, bro. I'm a line, Brent.
Yeah, man.
Flourishing at AC Milan. He scored 2 goals.
Top shooter.
What was that?
I said top shooter.
Yeah, he's like fine wine, man. He's getting older, but he's getting better. It seems.
Okay.
City. How do you think City are gonna fare without Haaland in the next couple of weeks? I think he's out for a little bit now.
No, I think he rested him for this game, so he didn't want to risk him, but he should be back for Saturday.
He'll be back for Saturday. Okay.
Yeah, but they'll be fine. They'll be fine without him anyway.
Okay.
But yeah, those are the results. Football rounds up. In some boxing news, we've got Usyk is ready for Tyson Fury. So Alexander Usyk will only fight Tyson Fury. Usyk, same shit, man. We'll fight Tyson Fury next, and it was called on unpredictable world heavyweight champion to agree to the bout as early as 2023. The Ukrainian's last fight was in August when he retained his WBA, IBF, and WBO belts after a split decision victory over Anthony Joshua in Jeddah. And then, talks over the undisputed heavyweight contest with the WCD belt holder Fury took place immediately after the fight in Saudi Arabia, but the Brit will instead face Derek Chisora at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium next month. This is a joke. Anyway, Us said at the Web Summit in Lisbon, right now my team is seeking conversations with Tyson Fury, and he is really an unpredictable person, so we can't guarantee when. For me, the idea would be to fight maybe in early February or the beginning of March, like March 4th, because I am an Orthodox Christian, because of fasting. I want to fight with Fury because I need the 4th belt. I don't want to fight with anyone else until I have the 4th belt. So yeah, he wants to unanimize his thing.
Okay.
Hopefully they can get to do that because I don't want to see him, Fury and Chisora. That's stupidness. And finally, in some basketball news, the Nets are finalising the deal to hire Ime Udoka. Now, obviously, we reported before that Ime Udoka was suspended from Celtics for
cheating on Nia Long.
Extramarital activities.
Yep.
That makes that sound nice. He cheated on Nia Long.
All right. Whistleblower.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't need to get into the details of the story. The main
details. No, the details. He cheated.
No, that's old news. We're talking about the new news. The crux of everything is you can't keep a good black man down. You know?
That's where you're going with it.
Yeah. Thank you, Brent.
Wow.
My hand slipped.
No, you didn't.
Now he's back with a black team. You know what I mean? Forget the Celtics, the white organisation. Now he's with, the Brooklyn Nets.
Do you know what? It is a win-win because it looks as though Nia's working for it with him. So this man won on all counts.
There you go.
Oh, serious? Nia's back in the frame.
Yeah, I don't think she.
Well,
left the
they say
frame.
behind every good man's a good woman, so it makes sense to me.
Yeah, the Nets
I'm tired.
fired Steve Nash.
No point.
Steve Nash gone.
Yeah, Nash is out there. They
He
don't
made
his head anyway.
Udoka in.
It's not official yet, but they're
I think it's a good thing because obviously Kevin Durant made it apparent
that he wanted Nash to go.
He wanted Nash to go.
He wanted the GM to go as well, though.
Yeah, so there's obviously internal turmoil there. So the coach had to go.
And it's a different team. It's a different roster he's got. The Nets ain't necessarily constructed too good, but they need defense. And my man was good on defense. He had Boston playing good.
Yeah.
Of offense and defense.
Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, he did still.
So yeah, we'll look into that, man. We'll keep you abreast of the news with that. But yeah, let's get into the next segment. Done out here.
Let's do it. TDA today. I am mad though. Neither are we. Neither are we, sis.
It was fast. This is why you need E-Man here, man.
No, we don't.
Yeah.
Oh wow, I didn't mean like that.
Too late.
I think it depends.
No, I just
if you
meant
want it
that
fast,
it can't be that long.
If you want it fast, then Esther leads the helmet. If you want it fast, if you want it long, then
Yeah, so I thought you meant we needed it long today, and I was saying no, we really didn't need it to be long.
Yeah, it's raining, man.
And we've hit the points. So please hit the point with Done Out Ere. That's two. And that's...
Well, Done Out Ere is quick and fast. Today's Done Out Ere is 26-year-old Terry Stokes, because you're just moving unruly. And I know I like to promote unruliness, but you're working at Holland and Barrett, yeah? I think one of your managers or your supervisors was texting you about the length of your lunch break.
I don't know why this is making me laugh already.
No, it was just texting me about the length of the lunch break, and he felt disgruntled. I think he was thinking, how did brother even get my number? You get what I'm trying to say?
On your application form, man.
Because he's come in, he stormed into the place talking about, yo, mind who you're talking to, mind who you're texting, while the guy's dealing with a customer, like two customers at the till. He's there getting in his face.
Must have got sacked.
Well, before he got sacked, he crowed out his eye with his finger. Like he crowed out his eye. He poked his eye up. Like they're fighting each other. They're trying to restrain each other.
How do you stay still for your eye to be poked?
No,
what was this text saying? Like,
I don't know.
Was it very disrespectful or something?
He crowed out the man's eye. They're fighting.
This is having a bad day.
And I think the eyewitness is saying that basically, I don't think he could overpower the brother like he wanted to.
Yeah.
Like they was quite evenly matched.
Okay.
He weren't having that.
So
He disappeared. No, he went to the staff room. He got a knife. He got a knife. He grabbed a bladed article and chased him around the shop.
You know, have you been told in about? You know how tight them eyes are in between the pills and the protein shake?
To be fair, I was ready to laugh when you said they went to Holland Barons. I just thought, where is this going? Like, you know what I mean?
He chased him with a knife, man. I don't think he caught him. I don't think he done anything. But I just think, what was you going through to make you do this?
You know, sometimes you're having a day, man, and like anything could make you break. And then someone's texting your phone about you're taking too lunch in your break. Move, man.
Yeah,
have you ever been close to chasing any of your managers down with a knife?
Not knife, but I remember.
You're saying it like.
I remember.
Like I can relate in it.
I can relate, man. I remember years back when I was younger, yeah, I had a car accident, right? And I went into work the next day, and I'm on the phone with insurance, trying to sort things out, but I'm not meant to be on my phone on the shop floor.
Let's say
I'm working at O2 these days, yeah. I'm not trying to sort my phone. Man, just like, can you get off your phone? I'm like, yeah. I'm on my phone trying to make calls and whatever, whatnot. I just got into it, man. I was already angry that I had a car accident the day prior.
Would you have poked his eye out?
I'm trying to sort my situation out, and this guy's just bothering me, innit?
Would you have poked his eye out if it got physical?
No, I wouldn't have poked his eye out, but I got into it. And my area manager was there as well. He was downstairs, so he had to come up. Like, what's going on? we're having a row.
Do you know what I'm trying to understand here? In a disagreement, you're like, how still are you standing for someone to get your eyes? That's wild, man. That's wild. But no, sometimes, because retail is difficult, man. It's it's the most annoying industry to work in. And then when you got people just shut up.
But usually I would expect that to be like you getting in problems with the public and that, and them being annoying, not your manager.
Nah, the manager's the worst.
It's where you want to fight them on the shop floor.
Nah, the managers are more annoying than thingy sometimes.
Yeah.
Than the customers. Micromanaging people.
Yeah, but he must have been going through something.
No, he was definitely going through
something. There was
yeah, to come back, like, because you're in the wrong, innit? You're late, you're taking too long on your lunch break, and you come back on wanted to beat up your manager. Going to get blunt knives from the back.
Yeah, he was going for it.
Well, he was convicted of assault by beating and possession of a knife. But he was only handed an 8-month suspended prison sentence. So
that's not too bad.
He's still walking around. I don't think he has a job anymore. And he's going to struggle to work in... Can you hide that kind of stuff up, or does that go on your CV?
Can you what?
Can you hide that? Yeah.
No, that's going to be on there.
Because you could hide it. You choose what goes on your CV. I'm just not going to add it. I'm not going to update my CV with my prison sentence.
By the way, I did do this my last job.
If you can't use them as a reference, then...
Oh, yeah, of course not. Yeah, you can't.
Oh, you definitely. You don't want to use them as a reference.
Your manager that you poked his eye out. Talk about, can you let
with his eye patch writing up your reference?
Boots, can you give a reference to Boots for me? Nah, not happening.
Oh dear, man, it's crazy.
Probably disappeared into the storage room.
Also, when you think about Holland Barracks, you think about the type of people that work there. It's normally people who are calm, demeanor.
But you know what's Those
cool
are the
people,
craziest
innit?
people, though.
You know what I mean?
They're the craziest ones because they're calm and whatever, so they've got a lot of built up frustration that they've never been able to let out.
Yeah.
Oh wait, there's more. He's got to
chance.
complete 18 hours of unpaid work.
What, Holland Barracks?
I'm not sure if that's just is that what they call community
I hope
service?
they call
nowadays?
community
That's community service. Well, he ain't gonna work at Holland Barracks.
That's what I thought.
After he just tried to fucking kill his manager.
Okay, cool. Well, and then he's got to do 15 days of rehabilitation activity.
To control his anger and stuff.
Anger management. And he's been ordered to pay £1,250, £1,250 compensation to Mr. Bennett.
To the manager.
Oh.
That's why his Specsavers bill.
Oh, he's got to pay the brother.
Yeah.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Because I've got to get some things for my eyes.
And you know how serious it is for someone to dig into your eyes? That's not some little tickle injury, bro. The man's got his fingers in your eye. That's insane.
I didn't know they do that. So he's got to pay the brother. Okay.
It's so serious. I'm just laughing through it. Yeah, that's mad.
Yeah, nah, you done too much, man. So now you lost that. You got to do community service. You got to do anger management, and you had to pay the brother, and you ain't got no job.
Where's that article?
You're going through it, man.
It's in the deck. It should be second to last one up there. There's a picture of him, but it's a bit blurry. Yeah, you can't see him.
What I asked.
He's got an aggressive stance.
He looks like he goes gym.
He's got an aggressive stance, but you can't
If
see.
he goes
like
gym, and the best he could do was pick someone's eye. He used to get a refund on them workouts.
Well, he was shocked and horrified that he wasn't as strong as he thought he was because Mr. Burnett was was keeping up with him.
It's like he avoids leg days. Yeah, he definitely wasn't as strong.
And he thought about it as well because when he went into the staff room, I don't think he ran straight back at. Like they said that he had ample time to cool off. So,
he was building for
stewing. He was plotting his revenge, and he thought, "Wait, am I an idiot?"
Yeah, man.
Doubled black with the knife, man.
She having me on?
Well,
yeah, that kind of vibe.
There you have it, man. Terry Stokes, man. Be better, man. Curb your anger, man. But you're done out here today. Sorry, Killy. But
you can choose this job. The job chose you.
There you go, man. Let's get into this outro.
Let's do it. This is the record-breaking show. I don't think we've ever done one like this.
I blame the weather.
Blame the weather.
Right, 9:36.
I mean, you know what it is? Once we hit the points, we hit the points, man.
That's my thing. And we hit the points.
I was late too, so I've been there for an hour.
Could have dialed in. But guys, as always, we appreciate you for tuning into the show. Shout out to the live crew. Always letting us know what they want to say and their opinions. I saw you again in a tussle today. But thankfully, they were doing some things in there. Didn't concern us though. So that's all good.
What's it about? About something we're talking about?
Yeah, so we mentioned something and they ran with it in the group, sharing their opinions and such. But yeah, we appreciate you guys for tuning in as always. Follow us on all our social media platforms, The Day After TNB. Like, comment, share the videos. We've got something exciting for you guys next week.
Also, Brent,
I can't tell you.
You know when you put in the community about 2 weeks ago about something exciting happening or something? Is it what I think it is or is it something different?
No, it's what you think it is.
Oh,
yeah.
I was hoping for something exciting.
But by the way, listeners, it actually is exciting. He's doing that because he has inner information. So don't think based on what he's saying.
No.
His excitement period is gone.
For you guys, it's exciting for sure because I already know what it is.
Yeah.
And I thought when he mentioned it initially, we didn't know what it was. Well, I didn't know what it was anyway. Did you know what it was? No, we didn't know what it was.
I always knew what it was.
Yeah, huh?
As in like when initially in the community.
No, when he first mentioned it.
Oh, no, I didn't. Because I was in the comments like, I can't wait to find this one.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, now we know. So yeah, long story short, we've got a surprise coming for you guys. If you'd like to send voice notes in, text, also the number to call when we're on live, it's 075-6484-1073. Before you exit this, like the video. The likes are doing well. If you haven't liked it yet, don't be a witch. Like the video if you want to have a good day, okay? Join the community as well, community.thenewblack.com. And also, if you'd like to inquire about the show or feature on the show, email the team the day after at thenewblack.com. Love to Iman. I'm sure he'll be back tomorrow. Also, big up Aquia. It's her birthday today. And
also, they're asking you for donut here that you owe them.
What?
You owe them donut here.
You'll get what you're given.
And as we got some time,
we don't have time because someone talking about we should do it over time. The other episodes that we've done with 3 hours, it all carries over. Guys, we are out. We will see you tomorrow. Goodbye.
Peace and love.